Hey everybody, it's your boy Pee-wee back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the manhwa The Villainess directs a romance fantasy. This started coming out about a couple weeks ago. To be honest, I was hesitant when I went to like read this, mainly because I read some comments about it, about like how the story isn't as good as it seems to be. That despite our female lead, trying to be a badass or independent, stand on her own and whatnot, how she just the character just wasn't likable. And like after reading all these comments, I know I don't let comments sway my opinions, so I decided why not give it a try. And honestly, I'm my opinion is up in the air on this one. Um, I'll give you a quick synopsis. Our main character, she is a playwright in her like current life, like her former life, because this is a reincarnation story or a no, yeah, reincarnation transmigrate story. But she starts out as her. She's a playwright in this life. Basically, we find out she's like a bastard child of some like powerful family, and she tries to make a career out of doing what she loves, but they think of her as like an embarrassment and all that stuff. But she gets meets this like child who is like some kind of like I would assume he's like some kind of like mythical being. Like he's a human child in his like form, but I assume it's like some type of like god of like this world she goes into, because he basically just teleports her straight into it. So that's what I'm assuming. But he teleports her into this story, as Luisa Messina, or basically the daughter of House Messina. Basically, the character she took over, it was the one who was responsible for the fall of like House Messina. She was a villainess who was obsessed with like jewels and anything like pretty, even going as far to saying all beautiful things belong to her. So she's deemed as this like villainous person who's greedy, only cares about like shiny objects type person. Um, but she takes over this person's body, and she decides that she wants to bring her playwriting into this world with her, because she's in a boatload of debt. Her fiance here, who she was ended up marrying for like family, like basically like a business proposal type thing, where it's like there's no love there, it's just a contract. But she decides that she used his money to buy the opera house that they were in. Like in here, like if they're buying like an opera house, she uses his money. So she comes up with the idea of writing a script and running this theater in order to make money to pay off her debts. The script, her first script, is Romeo and Juliet. It's like cliche, cringe. I mean, like the amount of times Romeo and Juliet is like a standard go-to is kind of just like it gets repetitive and boring. So like another playwright, and the first story she uses or utilizes is Romeo and Juliet. It's cliche and it's kind of just whatever. But her the one thing I really don't like about this comic is just like I understand that there's like no love in this marriage and anything like that. And she basically says she wants to use the money she makes from her theater to annul her marriage, like with this count, which triggers his like inferiority complex, victim mentality, and like it's like it's like a whole thing of like her doing what she wants and like interacting with all these guys while she's married, which I understand. Like I said, there's no love in the marriage, but like like if you're gonna like mingle with other dudes while you're like in a marriage, like it's I and it just triggers his inferiority complex, which makes him an unlikable character because he just seems like this obsessive, psychotic, like male lead of a person who at the same time he like unconsciously likes her because he gets like jealous and obsessive, but yet he acts like he doesn't. Like he acts like a tsundere, but like I like his actions don't even like I don't know. It's just this character is just so unlikable. And then when it comes to like her directing these plays and whatnot, like she like refers to like actors, like when people compliment their actors acting, she's like, oh yeah, you know, I just have a really good eye for these like sort of things and objects, and like she doesn't like kind of like treat these actors as like, you know, like her terminology basically, like she goes to like slave auctions, buy these slaves, and like she refers to them as slaves beside being from like modern times. So like she basically just inhabits this time period, which I mean isn't a bad thing, but at the same time it's like the story focuses on, you know, this bad marriage relationship, which is really annoying. Then the plays that she writes is just Romeo and Juliet and like other cliche stuff, so there's like no creativity on that front. And then her like this focus on like the stories isn't even that great because it's like the art isn't anything special. It's like the acting skills, like the characters and whatnot, they don't like, I don't, nothing feels great in this comic. I'll just leave it at that. But I mean, overall, I'd say it's whatever. I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. Like it's nothing special. It's nothing great. It's like, it's kind of whatever. There's cliche. There's a lot of like cliche, and like the male lead is kind of like a cuck, and like for if how you want to see it is because like I don't know. It wasn't as good as it sounded, and you know, I will say it was better though than I thought after reading the comics. Like it was good, but it really wasn't good at the same time. So it's kind of just like mediocre. But I mean, she is a female lead who like is kind of badass by like doing what she wants, but she isn't badass in terms of like being like overly like dominant and stuff like that. Like she basically just does whatever the hell she wants and like disregards everybody else's opinions, but it's like she doesn't do it in like a entertaining type of way. So but I don't know. If you like the sound of that, then you might like this one. I'll probably visit it sometime again in the future, but as of right now, I'm just gonna put it on hold and read some other stuff. But you know, I just want to talk about it. It's just I don't know. I had higher hopes for this than what it is actually like giving us. So kind of a letdown, but it is what it is. But that'll be it for this video. If you guys like, leave a sub, leave a like. I hope to see you guys keep coming back in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.